Oof. All right. I think we're live. Here we are, guys. All right. It's been a huge day for F-150 Lightning. You might be asking yourself, why are we outside? Well, one, for a change of scenery, but two, because I don't know about you guys, I need some fresh air after the day that we've just had. Absolutely stacked with news regarding the Ford F-150 Lightning. Also, if you tune in, it'd be great. Just say hey in the chat if you've got questions, if you've got updates. We're all kind of sifting through this craziness together. So if you can hear me okay, put it in the chat. Hey, Seth, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Man, right on time, so punctual. So I will probably end up repeating myself a lot in this video, just as new people tune in, but there was some good news today and there was some bad news today, and we're just going to recap all of that. We're going to react. I might find some tweets. I'm going to repeat this a lot, but I tweeted at Mike Levine, or Mike Levine, I don't know how you say it, regarding these price hikes, regarding where reservation holders stand. And he just responded to my tweet, like right before I went live. So even though today was mixed bag of good and bad news, I'm hyped because Mike responded to my tweet. So I'll go into kind of what Mike and I talked about. And I'm glad. Thanks, Seth, for the feedback. So because I'm outside, I'm just running this off of one laptop. I'll probably have to leave in the middle of the stream to get my charging cable, depending on how many people tune in and how long this stream lasts. But I just could not wait to film a video and edit it and upload it. I just wanted to word vomit my feelings about today, specifically the pricing. So you guys know me. I advertise myself as an optimist. So I'll start with the good news. The good news is that we have it on good authority. Also, if there's too much background noise, just let me know, guys, and I'll move inside. But we have it on good authority that the order banks for model year 2023 are opening in the next 2 days. Tim Bartz, who's a great resource on YouTube for Lightning content and all Ford content, he said that August 11th, that's the magic day when emails are going to get sent out. And so that is 2 days from now, by my math. I think tomorrow they might start opening for fleets or something weird. So, I mean, maybe if some dealerships are jumping the gun, you might get an email tomorrow. But I would trust Tim. He's at Long MacArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. I've got that memorized because I've watched so many of his videos. He said that August 11th is the day when Wave 1 orders or invitations are going to go out. However, Tim, I mean, he's insider info, okay? So this is info you can trust from Tim Bartz. He said that Wave 1 is going to be reserved for those people that put off their order because the trim they want wasn't available in 2022. So right off the bat, I'm not going to get my hopes up for August 11th. That's not me. I'm not a Wave 1 order, because based on what Tim has told us. So he said specifically Wave 1 is going to be people in 2022 that were invited to order but wanted a Pro trim. And I think because the Pro trim ran out first, that's why those people are going to get first dibs on the 2023 model year ordering banks. So then he said 2 weeks would pass. So this is already sounding a lot like the process for 2022. So 2 weeks are going to pass, and then Wave 2 of orders will open. That's also going to be reserved for people that put off their order in 2022. They extending, that's the word that they used. If you extended your reservation from 2022 to 2023 because they didn't have a truck available in the trim you wanted, so that's going to be the XLT people, according to Tim. So Wave 1 on August 11th, that's going to be Pro interested buyers that got pushed off from 2022. And then Wave 2 is going to be XLT interested buyers that weren't able to purchase in 2022 that got pushed to 2023. That's all the inside info that Tim shared in his quick video today. So just to hear that order banks are reopening, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it put some butterflies in my stomach just to be like, okay, we're back in the heat of the moment, like any day. And, you know, every 2 weeks-ish, you start checking your email a little more because you think today could be the day. That gets me excited because, you know, if you've been watching my channel since the beginning, you know that I originally thought I was going to be one of the first people to get a Lightning. We have come to learn that was not true. However, so here we are in 2023. I was bummed to not get an invitation in 2022. So I'm excited that we're back in the swing of things with hopefully ordering our Lightning. But that brings us to the bad news, guys. And I'm sure you've already seen tweets, or your friends have texted you, or you've seen maybe other YouTubers that beat me to this news. But Ford released the updated pricing for the 2023 Ford Lightning. And unfortunately, all of the trims experienced a price bump, which we were expecting. I talked it over with other YouTubers like Larry Lynch, and we had kind of discussed, like, what's the realistic, like, obviously we all hope the price wouldn't go up, but what do you think the price will be in 2023? I'm not going to lie, it's higher than I anticipated, and it's really got me scratching my head as to whether or not I still want to purchase a F-150 Lightning. So maybe you guys that have tuned in can convince me to keep my reservation, or tell me why you're canceling your reservation. I'd love to hear that in the chat. So I can pull up the chart. There's like a little Excel screenshot that I think somebody made, and that's been getting posted on all the articles. It just really cleanly sums up the price bumps for each trim, and even specific to each battery size at each trim. So you guys know, you've been watching the channel, I'm interested in the Pro trim, which was advertised as the sub $40,000 electric pickup truck. Unfortunately, there was a price bump, and it will no longer be, they won't be advertising it as a sub $40,000 pickup truck. I will go to Ford's build and price website right now. So if it looks like I'm going dead in the eye, it's because I'm looking at my screen, going to that website, Ford build and price. But off the top of my head, I'll just tell you the Ford Lightning Pro is now going to be closer to $46,000. So that's a hefty $7,000 price increase. And one article stated it really eloquently and pointed out that that's 17% of the original cost of the truck. So, which is huge. I mean, that's a huge price bump. And so I'll get into the price bumps on the other trims later, but because I was interested in the Pro, still am, I'm going to pontificate a little bit on that. So one of the things that got me excited about the Ford Lightning Pro was just the value proposition. Like, it was mind-blowing that they were offering an all-wheel drive electric pickup truck for under $40,000, and that was one of the reasons I reserved it. And so I think every individual buyer, including myself, is going to have to look, is it still a great value proposition for you? And that's, I went from all in to firmly on the fence, because, you know, if you were interested in the Pro Lightning, money is probably an object for you. Money is an object for me. You know, I can't be looking at these $90,000 Platinums. So it's unfortunate that the Pro was subject to the largest price bump of any trim, because those are the buyers that are pinching pennies and counting every dollar and scrounging and saving for this truck. So my gut emotional response is I'm going to try to use synonyms for bummed, because I know I use that word a lot. I'm disappointed, because while that may mean that a lot of Pro reservation holders may cancel their order, maybe I'll move up in line. That's selfish. And the reality is, this is an amazing truck, and it's a shame that so many people will be robbed of that because of this price bump. Now, I'm going to interrupt myself by saying, I made a video about Rivian because Rivian did a very similar thing not long ago. They announced that they were increasing their prices of their truck. And then immediately, a lot of Rivian reservation holders said, hang on a second, I reserved this truck years ago, and you've had my money for years, and I want this truck at this price. And so there was a couple days of radio silence, and then within a week, Rivian had rolled it back and said reservation holders are going to get the trucks they reserved at the price they reserved at. Now, that's really giving me hope that if Ford were to lose a lot of reservations over this, maybe they consider rolling back the price. But I know that's naive because there are plenty of people ready to buy the truck for whatever they're going to charge. And so unfortunately, for the next week or so, I'll be checking Twitter eagerly for an update. There's geese. That they're going to roll back. But this kind of segues nicely into the tweet conversation. It's not really a conversation that I had with Mike Levine. I had I let my emotions get the better of me today. And I started firing off a few tweets at Jim Farley. What's up, Tony? Is it Tony or Stoney? Let me know. So I let my emotions get the better of me. And I was firing off some tweets to Jim Farley, to Mike Levine. These are guys that are pretty high up at Ford. And they're also active on their Twitter. So I figure, why not? Let's just shoot off some tweets and just see if I can get a response. And most of my tweets didn't get any responses back. But just now, before I got on the stream, Mike Levine replied to me. And he said, I'm just going to pull up the tweet on my phone and read it to you word for word. And I will start by saying, I'm happy that Mike took the time to respond to a customer. So thank you, Mike. He said, vehicle orders to date are either unaffected or will receive a private offer. Right off the bat, the private offer thing sounds a little sketch. New orders for reservation holders will be at the new pricing. New, parentheses, higher price. I can already tell it's getting too dark, so this stream is probably going to move inside. But again, thank you, Mike, for responding to my tweet. However, I don't see how this is any different from the situation Rivian found themselves in. So some objective differences. Objective differences between this situation and the Rivian situation where they rolled back their price. Rivian is a startup. They could not afford to lose all of the money that they had obtained from all those reservations. Ford, on the other hand, is a legacy automaker. They can weather the storm. These reservations were only $100. So even if thousands of us say, we don't want our Lightning anymore at this new price, they can absorb that blow and continue producing, knowing that there are other people in line that will buy the truck at the new price. The other difference is that Rivian reservations, I believe, were $1,000. And so in contrast, Ford's reservation fee is only $100. Ken, how's it going, Ken? Got my Pro on 8.6. I'm super jealous. So, and let's all take a moment to acknowledge the 500 people that got Pro Lightnings in 2022 for $39,000. That's like winning the lottery. That's incredible. Especially, I bet they're the happiest people on earth today after seeing these new prices, because they are one of the few people on earth that will ever, that will, for the foreseeable future, be driving around in a pickup truck that costs them, in an electric pickup that costs them less than $40,000. That's incredible. So congrats, Ken. My advice is, if you can get it, buy it with the 2023 tax credit. And so I was gonna touch on that, Ken. Thanks for bringing that up. I have to wonder, and this may be cynical of me, is the 2023, do you think that this price hike is in response to the new EV tax credit. Like, do you think Ford saw that and said, well, we can't just afford to be doing point of sale credits of $7,500 on all these trucks, and so that's why they hiked it up almost exactly that amount? Seth says, mine will be at the dealership on 9/12. Made my dealership sign a purchase and sales agreement, got mine with no markups. Well, Seth, so you and Ken are very lucky. But unfortunately for the rest of us, we're now looking at these new prices, and it's a whole new decision to make. Because, like I said, I think the Pro was so intriguing because of how much truck you got for $40,000. Now you look at the truck. Oh, and spoiler, you get 10 more miles. They said the EPA is now saying the standard battery gets 240 miles, which I'd rather see it go up than down. But if you gave me the choice, I'd rather pay $40,000 and get 10 less miles. But I know that's personal preference. Gary says it's sad that Ford upped the price, fixed income, and was hoping to get one for under 45. I'm right there with you, Gary, because I had budgeted and I had done all the different permutations. How can I afford this truck? How much do I have to put down? How much do I have to get for my trade-in? Is there going to be an EV tax credit that works into this? And I had just come to terms with all the numbers, and then they released this new info. So did they raise the prices? Yes. C. Stoney, they raised every trim of the truck by at least, I think the lowest was 6,000. The most was 7,000. I think one may have even been 8,000, but they all went up by at least $6,000. Let me pull up that image, actually, because I don't want to give you guys the wrong info. I'll just read these off. I know this would be a better stream if I could display this information on the screen, but I'm outside and I'm on my laptop, so that will be difficult. I took a picture of it, and here we go. All right, so the Pro trim is now going to start at $46,974, which is up $7,000 from the 2022 MSRP. The XLT base now starts at $59,474, up $6,500. I'm just going to go through. XLT high is up $6,000. XLT high with an extended range battery is up $8,500. That's actually the biggest jump, and it now starts at $80,974. So for those of you keeping track with that EV tax credit, the cheapest truck you can get with an extended range battery does not qualify for the 2023 EV tax credit. Again, it almost seems deliberate on Ford's part. I don't know why they would do that unless these tax credits are somehow hurting them. Please, somebody explain to me in the comments if you think that's the case. The Lariat base standard range is now it's up $7,000 from last year, so it will start at $74,000. So actually, you could get a Lariat with a standard range battery, and that would qualify for the new EV tax credit. The extended range Lariat, on the other hand, is up another $8,500. So it will start at $85,974. So it looks like both of the extended range trucks, the XLT extended range and the Lariat extended range, got the highest markup. So I stand corrected. Earlier I said it was the Pro. And then finally the Platinum, which only comes in the extended range battery, is up $6,000 from last year, which means it will start at $96,874. So there's your breakdown, Stoney. All the trucks have gone up in price. The lowest jump was for the XLT high, so a standard range XLT, but with the high, like, luxury interior package. That one only went up $6,000. But the Pro trim, which is the trim we tend to focus on here on this channel, went up $7,000, which, to reiterate, is 17%. I'm trusting somebody else's math on that. I read it in an article. The Pro model went up $7,000, so it will now start at $46,974, which means it's still eligible for the the EV tax credit that's hopefully going to become law soon. But devastating. And I really think I'll have to dig deep and ask myself if this truck is still a great value. So today, for fun, I was, oh, I'm getting some chats here. Seth says, in my state, I only pay half the taxes. So out the door, price 44 with licensing and everything. Stony is says, this is ridiculous. Half the people will cancel pre-order. But I'm not so sure because, again, I will reiterate something I said in a previous video. It's still true. Ford is still a lot further ahead in this process of producing an electric pickup truck than Chevy, let's say. So if you cancel your reservation for the Ford, you're kind of subjecting yourself to another big question mark and a lot more waiting for the Chevy. And I believe Chevy is starting with the RST trim, and then they're going to roll out the work trim later. I think as late as 2024. So you have to ask yourself if you want to wait that long. I had an interesting question, and I can't wait to ask Larry this the next time we talk. But the question was, would you... Here's my question that I'm asking myself and all of you. Would you rather pay $47,000 for a Pro trim, but know that you're going to order it in the 2023 order bank? Or would you rather wait for the $39,000 price, but keep getting bumped off to the next model year? Because that's what happened in 2022. We all thought we were getting a $40,000 electric pickup, only to be told they didn't make enough. So my question is that extra $7,000 enough peace of mind? Is it worth the peace of mind of knowing you'll order a truck in the next 6 months? And that's something I'm asking myself, because as much as I hate this new price, I also hated being told they didn't make enough Pro trims and that I would have to wait till next year. And you never know how many times they're going to do that. Imagine being interested in the single motor $40,000 Cybertruck. That they had that on their website, and then now I think it's the last in line to be produced. I won't pretend to know anything about Tesla stuff, but imagine falling in love with that truck and then not having any idea when you'll be able to even order it. Let's see. Seth said maybe even at $47,000 for a Pro, you can still get up to $75,000. Yeah, and Seth, you're right. I mean, so if they're charging $47,000 for the Pro and you get a $7,500 tax credit, you're right. You are still paying $40,000 for this electric pickup truck, which is still a good deal. But for those of us that were hoping to get a $40,000 truck plus a $7,500 rebate and only pay $32,000, it's still a gut punch. Tesla will increase their prices. I'm not as tuned in to Tesla's updates, so I don't know how realistic that prediction is. Elon said it the other day. Okay, well, that makes sense. But then that means we're just all in the same boat where we kind of got duped. They showed us something and they got us hooked. And now they are not going to offer that truck for that price. And I almost sent an angry tweet at Mike Levine and Jim Farley. And I wanted to say, what was the point of reserving? Because when you reserve, all we knew was the truck and the price. And when we reserved, we apparently weren't reserving the truck, because a lot of us got bumped into new model years with new options and less colors. And we weren't reserving the price because they just changed it. So why did we reserve? What were we reserving if not the truck or the price? I'm sure this is a naive opinion. I'm sure this is my emotions talking rather than my brain. But that's just my gut reaction. And even back when they ran out of Pro Lightnings for the 2022 model year, I was starting to see comments on my YouTube videos about how dare Ford bait and switch. That's, how dare they? And I was like, okay, let's hold on. They just didn't make enough. Let's give them a chance. But I could see my brain starting to shift into that space where I'm like, you advertised a truck and then they made 500, which just feels like they did it to say they did it. But that's like, what percent of Ford Lightnings will that be on the road a year from now? Oh, I'm gonna move this stream inside. So we're going on a road trip as the sun sets in Westchester, Ohio. Thanks for sticking with me, everybody. I got some chats here. Oh, so the Cybertruck, Tony is saying we'll start around 50K for the single motor. At this point, I'd go with the Cybertruck. Okay, so Tony is team Cybertruck. Grab my phone here, walk inside. Hope no bugs come in my house. I also got to plug in my laptop. Hopefully you won't see too much of my messy house here, but go downstairs. Well, guys, as we transition the stream indoors, let me circle back and reiterate the highlights for anybody that's tuned in late. We've got news today. I got to plug this in. That Ford F-150 Lightning Pro is going to start at $46,000 for the 2023 model year. Woo! All right, plugging in. Ugh. Everybody in the chat, let me know, where are you at? Are you guys reservation holders? I know Ken already told me he's got his Pro. Congrats to Ken. Let's see. Gary. Oh, Seth said his is going to be at the dealership soon. New tax credit bump up the max purchase price because it used to cap out at $45,000. I did not know that. I didn't know that. But yeah, so the max price of a vehicle that qualifies for the new EV tax credit is $80,000. Well, it depends on if you're talking about a sedan or an SUV. I can put this on here now. SUV or, got my light. So for SUVs and trucks, the max is $80,000. And then for sedans, I think it's $55,000. Okay, so I did some digging. We're going to move into the next segment of this live stream. Thanks again for staying tuned in, everybody. I'm thrilled with how many people are watching. Reservation holder day 1. See, and yeah, Tony, I reserved on day 7. So it's probably naive of me to think I'm getting a Lightning anytime soon. Pull this up here. But it all depends on your dealer and how many allocations they get. So it's still a toss-up. So the next segment of this live stream, the Lightning, I did a little digging into the Pro trim because I wanted to see, like, okay, they're charging us $7,000 more. I'm not thrilled, but are they giving us more truck for that price? Are they sneaking features up and down? And so they say that the EPA now estimates that a standard range battery will get 240 miles. So right there, you got 10 more miles. That's not worth $7,000, but you got 10 more miles. Sorry, I'm going to adjust my light here. At first I thought maybe they put the interior work surface in there. Like, that's a feature that I've been clamoring for ever since they released this truck. It's a work truck. They didn't include the available work surface, the interior work surface. So I did some digging, and at first I thought that they had included it. Unfortunately, that's not the case. In order to get the interior work surface, even in 2023, you will have to order an XLT base or higher. So I dug around and I could not find any features that they added to this truck to justify the price. And the tweet from, I think, Mike Levine and Jim Farley and all them is really transparent as to why they bumped the price. That doesn't mean I'm thrilled about it, but let's see. Gary, my dealership called to tell me to keep an eye out for the email. Yeah, and thank you, Gary, for bringing me back to that. That was one of the things we shared at the beginning of the stream, which is that order banks should be opening August 11th. Now, my information from Tim Bartz says that that is just going to be for people that wanted a Pro in 2022 and had to extend their reservation. So if that is not you, don't be devastated if you don't get an email on August 11th. Then again, if your dealer didn't have anybody that wanted a Pro that put off, maybe that means you will get an email on August 11th. Let's see. Seth says, could you order it from a scrapyard? So I've watched videos on swapping the interior work surface from one ICE F-150 to another ICE F-150. That's the only video I could find. Even that swap is maybe a little more in-depth than what I would trust myself to do. Because if you break any part of it, there's a lot of screws. I could probably do it myself, but I mean, to be fully transparent, yes, I would love to do that once I get my Lightning, but I'd rather them offer it from the factory. And to me, it's just a no-brainer. Like, it's the work truck. You're advertising this for the working man, and you don't put the work surface in there. I know I sound like a broken record, so I'm going to move on. I think dealers played funny things. I was willing to pay to move up in line. I heard about some of that funny business way back before Wave 1 of 2022. Like there was dealer preference and they got to move a couple spots. I haven't heard much about that since then. Obviously, that's the type of practice that Ford is frowning upon, and that's why they're going to transition to an online direct-to-consumer model for their electric vehicles. God, that can't come soon enough. But for now, we're still stuck with the dealers. But yeah, Seth, I love your idea, and that is probably the most cost-effective way to do it. And furthermore, I wonder if I could just walk into the dealer and say, I bought my Pro Lightning, but I'd like to place an order for this part, this XLT interior work surface. They probably don't have parts lying around, but it's worth a try. I'd rather do that than try to swap one from an internal combustion, because I know the truck bed is identical from internal combustion Lightning or internal combustion F-150 to an F-150 Lightning, but I don't know about the interior dimensions. So I would be nervous to try to swap from ICE to Lightning. Post pics, then I want to do the light bar across the hood. I have my own ideas for what to do with the hood. That will be tricky, though. You're going to swap out the whole faux grille for one with a light bar. I know Rigid Industries designed, a light bar. Okay. Yeah, and that was going to be one of the pros in my mind as I'm weighing, do I want to get involved in this 2023 Lightning? The aftermarket for the Lightning is only going to take off now that more people are getting their hands on the Lightning. So glass half full, it'll be easier to get accessories for your Ford Lightning. I will say, though, if you go to the F-150 Lightning website and you scroll down, it says accessories for your Lightning. And it's really just a bunch of accessories for internal combustion Fords. I'm kind of disappointed that Ford hasn't come up with more accessories just for the Lightning, or that, I don't know. That's just me. It's just a lot of bed covers for a F-150. Like, those aren't Lightning accessories. Anyways, I digress. So let's run through the hot topics of the day. Prices went up. Sorry to repeat myself if you've already been tuned in. Prices went up for all the trims of the F-150 Lightning. The smallest price bump was for, I think, an XLT. It was $6,000. The F-150 Lightning Pro got bumped $7,000. But the good news is order banks should be opening soon. So keep your eye on your emails. 2023 build tool showed price increases showed price increase for the Toe Tech and Max Toe package. So I don't remember off the top of my head. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by tweets. Mike Levine replied, let's see. All right. So I didn't notice an increase in the Max Toe package or the Toe Tech package, but that doesn't surprise me. I was interested in the package that includes the 360-degree camera. Yeah, just disappointing all around. I mean, the truck is becoming more expensive, which I think we knew there was going to be a price bump in 2023, but not this. This is pretty steep, especially for those pro buyers that were trying to get out the door with the cheapest electric truck possible. It's just becoming less and less realistic. So let's see. There's a tweet from somebody who is interested in a Lightning. It's a screenshot of a text from his dealer. Would you be interested? This is Chris with, I have a Mustang. Oh, so I think he's just commenting on markups, and it's just frustrating that Ford can't switch to this direct-to-consumer model sooner, because I think that would address, but this is the downside. You know, Tesla will list a vehicle for a price, but then, I mean, depending, any day they could just go to their website and update what the cost of the vehicle is. And that's kind of what happened to us here. 2022 trucks cost $40,000, and now here we are, $47,000. I think, having turned this over in my head a lot today, I'll probably still go through with purchasing, but how keen I am on the truck will diminish rapidly over the next 4 months. Because for that price, I don't know if I can stomach that. 360-degree camera upgrade would have made the $7,500 not bad because it would put over the max allowable purchase price. But Seth, that's on the old EV tax credit, right? The new EV tax credit that will hopefully become law as part of that larger Inflation Reduction bill. That says that the max price to qualify is $80,000 for a truck. So if you're interested in the Pro, you could load that up with the packages and still be well under the $80,000, is my understanding. What questions do you guys have? What are you guys feeling? Because I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I'm disappointed. Let me see if Mike tweeted at me. Yeah, so just to reiterate what Mike tweeted at me earlier, vehicle orders placed before today are either unaffected or will receive a private offer. New orders for reservation holders will be at the new pricing. So even though we reserved in May of 2021, we're going to get stuck with this new price. What do you guys think? Should Ford, for reservation holders, be offering the original price? Is that out of line? Is that an out of line expectation to have? I mean, I'm not holding Rivian up as the gold standard, but I think they set a good example by trying to do that and then rolling it back for reservation holders. Old bait and switch, says Captain Corey. Yeah. And it seems like that's the exact same. They up the price and only get 10 miles. No, I agree. Gary, that made me laugh because I'm like, if you're going to up the price by 7,000, you have to give me more than 10 miles. Give me an interior work surface. Give me a bigger touchscreen. Give me better tires. Give me something just to soften the blow. I mean, they have to realize this is a nail in the coffin for some people's hopes of purchasing this truck, specifically pro buyers like myself. But I mean, it's not all about the Pro. I've talked to people that are interested in the Lariat. This could be a deal breaker even at that price point, especially when you consider that an extended range Lariat, an extended range XLT, those won't even qualify for the EV tax credit. Extended range for 7K. That's an interesting thought experiment, Gary. What if they only offered the Pro at $47,000, but it was an extended range? That would make this pill so much easier to swallow. But unfortunately, that is not the world we're living in. On the builder, it shows $500 for the mobile power cord. So thank you, Rolf. I caught that today. You can unselect the mobile power cord. And it defaults to being selected. So if you want $500 off your Lightning, be sure when you're in the builder to unselect the mobile power cord. Now, obviously, I think it's smart to have that unless you don't plan on traveling and already have a home charging solution. But Rolf, gold star. I meant to mention that and I managed to forget for these 41 minutes. But yes, they're charging you $500 for the mobile charging cord. So if you don't need that and you're sure you never will, you can unselect that and save $500 on your vehicle. I'm going to take a hard look at the Silverado. Yeah. The Rivians that reserved at $300 got the original price. I thought Rivians reserved for $1,000. So thank you for correcting me, Mark. My goal is never to spread misinformation. So thank you. I've brought up the Silverado. I have a reservation for the Silverado. My plan was to drive the Lightning until that Silverado finally becomes a reality and then weigh, can I sell the Lightning? Can I get the Silverado? My only drawback on that Silverado is it truly gonna, I don't doubt that they'll sell. I mean, they advertised it at $39,000. I think we all can agree it's not going to actually sell for that price, having been hurt one too many times in light of today's events by Ford. It does have more range, but I just have absolutely no confidence in when that base Silverado EV will hit the streets. And that's why I'm not holding my breath and I'm not canceling my reservation for this Lightning. Gary said, take my money. I'm assuming that was for the extended range Pro at $46,000. Captain Corey, I'm really pulling for you. I definitely did not reserve on day one. So if anybody has a right to be upset about not being invited yet, it's you. But the good news, Corey, I don't know if you missed this part of the stream. August 11th is when they're opening Wave 1 for model year 2023. I wouldn't be surprised if you're in there. Now, an employee from a Ford dealer made a video earlier today saying that Wave 1 is mostly going to be people that wanted Pro trims in 2022 that had to extend their reservation to 2023. Mobile power cord was not $500 more. Correct. Well, and so, Corey, I kind of see it as a glass half full, glass half empty. It was included with the 2022 truck. But you have to ask yourself, I mean, I guess if somebody wants to save $500, it's nice that they now have the option to leave off that power cord. Or you could say they're not even including it with the truck anymore, and you're making me pay $500 for it. So it's depending on what you want. You can either be upset or happy about it. I considered deleting the mobile power charging cord. Only because, I mean, I feel like it's a nice safety net to have in your frunk when you're traveling. You get to your Airbnb, and it's even if it's trickle charging, it's better than nothing. So it was a big day. I went to Twitter. Here, I'm just going to read through some Twitter reactions. F-150 Lightning, because I know today it was kind of blowing up just with people reacting to these new prices. Let's see. I'm scrolling through. Ford raises. A lot of these tweets are just websites, sharing it as a headline, and all the articles are identical. So don't bother clicking most of them. Let's see. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I was wave 2 for model year 2022, but the Pro sold out, so they should. So Gary, because you already had the opportunity to order and you extended your reservation, my understanding is that you will get the 2022 pricing, but that's only for unique cases like you, because your name came up in the order bank and you extended, whereas my name did not come up for 2022. And so because all I am is a reservation holder, I will be stuck with the new prices. But I did see a couple different articles and tweets saying that because you were in a wave in 2022, you'll get the original price. Now, don't play this YouTube video at your Ford dealer and cite me as your source. But I did see that today from a couple different people. And actually, I want to bring up that tweet from Mike again, because he did respond to a few tweets today. Let's see here. Let me just go to Mike's Twitter. Mike Levine or Levine. I don't know how to say his name. Tweets and replies. Vehicle orders to date. I will also say, in regards to colors, I was going to make a video on this kind of stuff, but I'll just address it now since I got you in the live stream. When you look at the color lineup for 2023, it's pretty lackluster. So the most notable, hold on, I'm going to the build and price tool. Most notable omission, and this, you may have already heard this, is they got rid of Atlas Blue for 2023. So if you purchased a Atlas Blue Pro Trim 2022 Lightning, congrats, because obviously those will never be produced again, and that's going to be a very rare find. F-150 Lightning. I'm on the page now. I'm going to click Build. Choose your model. So here are the available colors for 2023 Lightning orders. We're going to start with Agate Black Metallic. We're going to call that black because I don't know how to say the first word. Next up is Antimatter Blue, which originally I think I was going to order. So you still have a blue option. You have Rapid Red Metallic, however that costs extra. And now we're going to get into a sea of white and gray because all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 remaining color options are white or gray. And I'm like, how boring could you have made these? There were rumors that one was going to be like Area 51, like one of the Bronco colors, or Cactus Gray or whatever. At least that's a little unique because it's a flat paint. None of that. Seth, just to confirm, you're correct. The price hikes will not affect orders that have already been placed in the 2022 model year waves orders. So if you already placed an order, it's not going to affect your price. But I think you're on to a juicy piece of drama where dealers, I don't mean to paint them in a bad light, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were miscommunications or misunderstandings where dealers, you're going to walk in to pick up your truck. You said it in the chat. On 9/12, and they might try to charge you more. So just be prepared. Try to do your research on YouTube. Try to get, find some things in writing just to confirm, you already placed your order. So when you go in to pay and take delivery of your truck, don't pay the 2023 prices. Let's see. So back to the colors. We already went through black, antimatter blue, and rapid red. The remaining colors, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get Oxford white, which I might order. I like a clean white. You get iconic silver metallic. You could get carbonized gray metallic, which I think looks great. You could get stone gray metallic, which this color just to me shouts retro, early 2000s. It's not a color I would order, but if you're into it, that's fine. Azure gray metallic tri-coat, which to me is looking eerily similar to iced blue silver, but isn't, because iced blue silver is not an option for 2023. Sorry if that's the color you wanted. And finally, avalanche, which is looking, maybe avalanche is what they're calling what we thought was cactus gray. I don't know. These computer renders, it's hard to tell sometimes. Because really the only way to know what this color looks like is to go see it in person, which I know is not an option for most of us. But just to review, you've got 6 different versions of like on the white gray spectrum, and then you have black, blue, red. Now, I was expecting to go to higher trims and see that more colors were available. That was common on like the Bronco, certain colors reserved for higher trims. But on the Platinum, which is the most expensive electric pickup truck you can buy from Ford, you have black, antimatter blue. Those are the same so far. Carbonized gray metallic, still the same. Iconic silver, Oxford white, rapid red, stone gray, which to me looks more like champagne. Star white metallic tri-coat, which I believe was already available on 2022 Platinums. And then avalanche and the gray metallic tri-coat. So you get one extra color on the Platinum, but it's just a different white. How many of you guys had checked out the build and price page for the Lightning today? Because, I mean, there are some surprises there. They gave a huge facelift to the home page for the Ford F-150 Lightning, but it's truly a facelift. There's no new information there. I saw a couple little blurbs about like the Ford Pass app that's a little more helpful at telling you what you're going to get in that app. But you go to the webpage, you think it's going to have all this new info because they revamped it, and it's really just new pictures and a new layout, but most of the same information. Hey, Larry's in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, Larry. So, yeah, we already talked through the highlights. Disappointing on the whole, but let's be honest. This is where I get excited. If I got an email on August 11th inviting me to order a Pro F-150 Lightning, I'm probably doing it. Because, so for fun, when I was in my rebellious stage today and I said, I'm not getting the Lightning, and I started looking at other trucks that I was kind of interested in, they all cost that much anyways. Like they're all in the 45 to 50,000 range. So I'm like, do I want to get an internal combustion truck for the same price, or can I just wait a little bit, pay the new price, and get an eco-friendly, save on gas money Ford Lightning? So I think that's the way I'm leaning, but I understand that may not be everybody's situation. So, should react to Tim Bart's new video. Okay, so Larry, I had that video playing in my car on the way home today. I already kind of recapped some of the highlights, but yeah, if this is a quiz, Larry, here's my answer. August 11th is wave 1. That's going to be all the Pro people that extended from 2022. And then 2 weeks from August 11th is going to be wave 2. And that's going to be all the XLT people that extended from 2022. That's basically all Tim said in his video. But huge shout out to Tim because he's always given us accurate information regarding the Lightning. So go check out his YouTube channel, Long MacArthur Ford. I know that's where I get a lot of reliable info regarding the Lightning. My dealer tried to raise my price, says Seth. $5,000. I called him out, got everything in writing, no markups. Seth, can I ask, how did they try to raise your price? Like, was it sneaky, like they just thought you weren't going to notice? Or did they say, well, we're doing an underbody protection and we're doing a clear paint coat? I'd love to hear the details, Seth. Larry, unless we watch different videos, Because I know Tim Bartz likes to do longer videos. And so when I saw it was only 6 minutes, I'm like, how much can he possibly say? I listened to the whole thing on the way home. And those were the juicy nuggets that I got from Tim, is that wave 1 is going to start on the 11th. But it also puts my mind at ease because I'm not going to lie. I think we all secretly are hoping to wake up to an email on August 11th. So I'm glad he tapered my expectations because I was not one of those pro people that extended their reservation. And so I'm glad he set a realistic expectation for me regarding when I'm going to get my email. Now, Larry, you're going to regret tuning in now. I'm going to put you on the spot, Larry, because I asked this question to the viewers about 40 minutes ago, and I want to see what you have to say. Would you rather pay $39,000? Well, I know you're interested in the Lariat trim, so this is kind of apples and oranges for you, but put yourself in the mindset. Well, no, we could do it with the Lariat. Okay. So would you rather pay the 2022 MSRP for a Lariat but not have a guarantee on when you'll take delivery? Or would you rather pay the 2023 MSRP on a Lariat and know that you'll get it in the next 6 months? So the question is that extra $6,000 worth the peace of mind of knowing you will take delivery of the truck in the next 6 months? Because as a pro reservation holder, one of the things I hate is not knowing if they're going to make enough and if I'm going to get bumped into another model year. But if they're going to charge $46,000 for a pro and make enough to deliver it to me before 2024, I think I could start being able to stomach that. But I don't want to bias your answer. Hopefully Larry's still here. And hopefully he's typing out a lengthy, thoughtful response. Captain Corey, Lucid gave reservation holders original price like Rivian. Yeah, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I think the fact that Rivian handled that situation the way they did is the only thing giving me hope that Ford would roll this back. However, in reality, I'm trying to start divorcing my feelings from that. So Larry says I'm willing to wait. Okay. See, that's why this is such an intriguing conversation. We don't agree. Mark, do we know many 2023 Lightnings are currently being built? That's a great question, Mark. I don't know. But the fact that Ford has not put out numbers doesn't put my mind at ease. It's because I caved. Okay, well, the 17 people that are watching this stream know, Larry. Seth says I'd have to call in. So, Mark, to answer your question, they haven't put out numbers. I just know they have goals. They have goals to make a certain number of EVs each year. But to my understanding, they're not putting out goals for how many Lightnings to make each year. And if they have, at the end of the day, they're just goals. So they're not guarantees. And if we've learned anything with the supply chain issues, I know they want to make 200,000 EVs per year by the end of 2023 or something. But they could pump out a lot of Mustang Mach-E's that you never know how that's going to affect Lightning production. Oh my gosh, Seth wants to send me documents. Well, I don't know how to privately send you that info, Seth, unless you can find me on Instagram or something. All right, well, Larry, that's so interesting, Larry, and I can't wait to talk with you more about this. Okay, so recapping, even though everybody that's here has probably been here, price hikes for the Lightning, orders are going to open soon. I'm not going to lie, though, test driving the Lightning really made me dig in my heels that this truck was worth it. But that was when it was $39,000 plus a $7,500 EV tax credit. Now we're looking at 46,000. I posed this question earlier, but I'll ask the group again. Do we think that it's a coincidence that this hike comes just after the Senate passed the bill with the new EV tax credit? Larry says making a thumbnail, but can call in after if you want to dive in. Oh boy. Call in. Makes it sound like a radio show, which is what this feels like. Not that I've ever been on a radio show, but I mean, yeah, Larry, I'm down to chat. I got nothing to do tonight. I got nothing to do tomorrow. So, Ken says Ford says by the end of 23 they'll be producing Lightnings at 150,000 per year. Even that, see, and you guys know I'm an optimist, but it's statements like that. My brain shifts to being a little more cynical. So they'll be producing Lightnings at the rate of 150,000 per year. But if they're ramping to that number, that means they only have to be there in December, which means January through November, they're going to be producing at a rate slower than that. My other downside is that depending on the dealer allocations and where you're at your particular dealer, I just keep finding ways where there's going to be an excuse for them to not give me a Lightning until 2024. And who knows how much they'll be charging for it by then, which is kind of what lights a fire in me. Like, I want to get this truck sooner rather than later, because as time passes, the price could just go up. Let's see here. Let's see if Mike responded to any other tweets today about it. Let's see. So tired of markups. $20,000 markup on a Lightning in Los Angeles. If you've got a reservation, hopefully you'll be able to convert to an order soon without paying additional, says Mike. If you're trying to buy without a reservation, yeah, and I know people have mixed feelings on people buying demo units that aren't reservation holders. I don't know how you guys feel about it. To me, it's a truck that they made, and it's for the dealer to do test drives. But the dealer is going to want to make money on that truck. Now, what I have a problem with is my local dealer has a demo unit that Ford sent them for test drives. And Ford says, not Ford, my dealer said, we're not offering test drives because we're going to sell the truck in 6 months. Doesn't that kind of nullify the whole reason they sent you the truck? Was so people like us, reservation holders, could take it for a test drive. We're spending $46,000 on the truck. Are we not qualified to at least know what it feels like to drive it first? That's just me. That's my rant. That's my soapbox. That's what I have a problem with. When they receive the truck and plan on selling it and don't offer test drives, because that's why they were sent the truck, was for test drives for reservation holders. Now, there's another Cincinnati dealer that is offering test drives on their Ford Lightning Pro, and that's who I did my test drive with. Are they going to sell that truck in 6 months? Of course. They're going to make a killing on it, but at least they did what they were supposed to do. They kept it and offered test drives for 6 months. Sorry. Got heated there. Send me your email. Larry making a thumbnail. Ken, Ford says, Ford has to have had this pricing for months. Can't imagine why they would react in just days. Mark, you're right. It has not passed in the House yet. It's not law yet. I know I'm referring to it as if it's a sure thing. The reality is there are still more steps before it becomes law. And you're right. There's no reason for Ford to share this information early. You know, even if this was getting talked about in meetings months ago, why would they tell anyone? They have no reason to. 2024 model year, your Lightning could contain the longest lasting, that's a mouthful, longest lasting lithium ion battery. Battery's cheaper. That's true. Same thing my dealership said. Took a $2,000 deposit. Yeah, which is frustrating because now Seth, did they let anyone test drive that Lariat? You're right. The Ford Lightning can, to touch on what you said in the chat, in 2 years could be a different truck, could be a better truck, could have better batteries, could have better range. But that's when you have to start asking yourself, how long are you willing to wait? We reserved the truck in 2021. And depending on your current vehicle and if you're leasing or if you're financing and when that financing plan is complete or when you have your vehicle paid off, by that logic, you're always going to be waiting for the next model year because it might be better. I like to think of it like cell phones. You know, whenever you're shopping for a cell phone, the moment you buy one, a new phone's going to come out that's going to be better. But eventually you have to pull the trigger and buy a cell phone because you need a cell phone. And that's how I feel about, you need a way to get to work. And if you're committed to an electric, truck that we all are. So I appreciate, though, Ken, the glass half full approach. If we get stuck waiting till 2024, you're right. The technology will be better, but I will also be severely dissatisfied that I had to wait 3 years. Yes, exactly, Seth. We reserved in 2021. I can't imagine how Cybertruck people feel. And I'm not poking fun. I just, on the outside looking in, I know they announced that truck a long time ago. I know they haven't delivered any yet. And so I can only imagine how frustrating that process is. Rivian, same thing. People put down money for Rivians years ago. They only just started taking delivery recently. And so I can't imagine what it would be like to be a Rivian reservation holder who still hasn't gotten their truck. I don't want to make it to 2024 without taking delivery of a truck. That's just me. Seth says you can sit in the mannequin. Yeah, that's what they let me do. Seth, we might live like right next to each other because this all sounds exactly like my local dealer. He let me open the front and open the door and look inside. He did not let me take it for a test drive. Let's see. Ford homepage still says Lightning starting at 39. Thank you, Corey. I took a screenshot of this earlier because it's so infuriating. When you go to the Ford Lightning homepage, it says starting at $39,900. No, it doesn't. It officially does not start at that price. Why would they still have that on the website? That, I think, perfectly encapsulate a bait and switch. And I hate calling it that, but I'm calling it as I see it. I'm not happy about it. I'll still buy it, but I can fully acknowledge that for those of us that didn't get to order in 2022, it could feel that way. I know I feel that way. You're right. The truck you want is always 2 years away. No, and it's true. Well, and to really zoom out to a macro lens, Ford has already teased their next electric truck that isn't an F-150 Lightning. And so you have to start asking yourself, am I even going to take delivery of my Lightning before that one starts doing reservations? Central Washington, that is not where I live, Seth. But it sounds like our dealers are following similar game plans. Let me make sure I'm not getting any tweets or anything. Well, I appreciate you guys being engaged for this stream. It was a big day for the Ford Lightning. I like that the uncertainty is starting to diminish regarding when we're going to order, when orders will open back up, and pricing. It's not the pricing we wanted to see, but at least we know. At least it's like there's probably some wise saying about the enemy you don't know is worse than the one you do, or I don't know. At least now we know the price. At least now we're not going to be sweating and turning it over in our heads, and we can start coming to terms with the new price, and we can start budgeting for this new MSRP. Sorry, I just got a message. We might have a special guest, guys. Mark says, thanks for hosting the conversation. I love sitting around talking about the Ford Lightning. I love that we're all so passionate about it. I have these conversations in my head as I'm driving to and from work. And so the fact that we get to finally all sit around and talk about it, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't know many people in person that are as into electric vehicles, are as into electric pickup trucks, have reservations for electric pickup trucks. So what's the best way to join? You can tell we've never done this before. Let's see. Gary said talk. Can you hear me? Can we use that? So hopefully we start seeing some emails in the next few days. It's funny to think that my channel, the first video I uploaded regarding the F-150 Lightning was when I thought I received an email inviting me to order an F-150 Lightning. So who knows? We might finally be having that moment in the next couple weeks. I'd like to hypothesize that if wave 1 is August 11th, that means I'm just pulling up a calendar. That means wave 2 would be on the 25th, which means wave 3 would be 2 weeks after the 25th. So I think that's the hot spot when a lot of us could expect to be getting emails. Can we use that real IO thing? This is my special guest messaging me about how we're going to join streams. So disappointing to see the new prices. Happy to see at least when we might get to order. But if we go through another 6 waves and there's no order invite for me in the next, every 2 weeks, 6 waves in the next 12 weeks, with that, weighing that against the new price, he says it'll probably be sold out. Well, Gary, that's a great question. Are they going to make a limited run of Pros in 2023? I don't know. They didn't warn us, to be fair. They didn't warn us in 2022 that they were only going to make 500. They just opened the order banks, and after wave 2, they said, we're out. I'm optimistic. I'm naive. I thought that was just a 2022 thing. And especially now that they've hiked the price, they're losing less money per unit on the Pro specifically because they adjusted the price. So they shouldn't be afraid to make more. They might make 1,000. Oh, Rolf. Gary says, I'm wave 2 for model year 2022 and it was sold out. But that was 2022, Gary. I'd like to think in 2023 they're going to make more because they're losing less money and they're ramping production. Sent you a message. Might make me restart the stream. You know what? Let's just give it a shot. So special guest is trying to get on the stream. So if I seem distracted, that's why. Me and Larry. Oh, I just spoiled it. Okay. Wait, allow. I think I'm joining Larry's stream right now. What's up, Larry? Oh, it's giving us a countdown. Hey, Larry, how's it going?
Did that work?
I mean, I can hear you and you can hear me, but I don't know if that's working on my stream.
Man, this is a mess.
Let me end my stream. So to the 16 of you that are watching, just stay tuned. I might go live here in 30 seconds. So stick around. We'll be talking with Larry. Okay. Bye, guys.